Yeah, well, this is how it starts. In other words, this is how the spiritual journey begins, is you feel that you can't stand your limited self. I mean, this is what happened to Buddha and Rama. In the Yoga Vashista, Rama is just disgusted with himself. It starts out, and then in the typical story of Buddha, it's like that as well. Unless you really feel how it's not enough to be who you are conditionally, you're not going to have the kind of motivation. And basically, if it's just like, oh, it would be great for me to have enlightenment, you're going to go on for years. You got to have a good reason to want enlightenment, and now you do. Do you see?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen otherwise. In other words, this is the only way it happens, is for you to really be disgusted with your conditional self. Not in an intellectual way, not in like a way, like you said, well, I always kind of knew it, but I was not quite feeling it. That won't do it. Then it's an intellectual pursuit. Oh yeah, I know that there's an enlightenment thing. It's kind of, I like to do it and I want it, but there's no disgust with samsara. I mean, it's not about beating yourself up or getting yourself to feel miserable all the time either. But, you know, this is what it seems like to me, that you invoked your awakening, in which your God is, you know, it's this thing where some folks say to me, you know, they want to wake up, and I say, well, why? And they can't give me a reason. It's like, well, you know, it doesn't work that way. You know, it's got to be like, because the alternative is not, you know, there's got to be some, you know, it's like, otherwise, okay, I read it in a book that it's really, you get to be free and it feels good, so I want that kind of awakening. Can I have it? It doesn't, you know, I'm sorry to hear that it's difficult, but at the same time, I feel like you actually got your prayers answered.
In a strange way.
Yeah, because it's got to be, it doesn't happen otherwise. I mean, it seems like it should be able to. Like, I should be able to just go up there. Mm-hmm. It's not how it works. At least that's not traditionally how it works, and I don't know anybody who works that way. It works that way for. Like, curiosity about awakening doesn't make it. Doesn't happen. I mean, you know, it's like, or an intellectual idea that awakening, I read about it and I've been trying with it, but it's not quite and all that. It's really like disgust with the options. Like seeing your helplessness. That's really what it comes down to, is seeing your helplessness. That's, for me, that's always been it. In other words, there's no such thing as purity as far as people. I mean, well, maybe there are, but I mean, I'm willing to attribute it to people, Papaji, the Dalai Lama, you know, Ramana, but I mean, as far as regular folks that I know, myself, definitely not. All along the way, it's always been a mixed bag. And the thing that's actually driven me is my own, the recognition of my own incapacity, my own helplessness, in regards to myself, in regards to being able to control my passions or my thoughts or my anger or my anything, my obsessions or compulsions or you know, selfishness, or just when I see that I'm really incredibly weak, I just cannot do. That's what's, when I really, you know, that's actually been the motivating factor for all of this for me. And it's been mixed with other things, like, oh, it'd be nice if I was awake, I'd be this or that or whatever. All that stuff would be there too, but underneath it was all this. And that's actually what's contributed, continued to snowball. So that my whole spiritual life, you know, like the second birth is totally about that. Second life is totally about that. In a way, all of my deepening in this awakened life has come through feeling my limits. Feeling my limits is the same thing as realizing you're being lived. It's not any different. It's not actually that you end up waking out of that. You wake deeper into that. But you don't wake into... See, right now you think that you had a choice in it all. Or that you should be different. Like you said, the comparison between what I am and what can be is what's so excruciating. That's actually what is excruciating. That's the loss of a dream. That you were ever something other than what you are. And it's not your fault. And there's actually nothing wrong with it. There's this idea that you shouldn't be this person. You can't be otherwise.